The real estate team and associates that got you here may not get you there.
Moving forward with the Dekker team. Moving forward together with the Dekker team.
We are delighted that for 37 years, we've been able to come alongside you, not only selling, buying, and investing in real estate over 3,117 times, coming alongside you to build your fund, build your faith, build your fitness, build your finances, and even strengthen, heal, and flourish inside relationship. This whole thing about team, we have talked about it in lots of segments over the last 15 years of Life's Inside Track. And this time we're saying something different. We're saying that any old team
may not be
the right
one.
team as you move forward and as your goals expand and as your dreams broaden, as your vision gets bigger. If they're not keeping ahead of where you are, if they're staying stagnant, if the advice you're getting and the counsel you're getting and the options that are being put before you are not proactive, you're probably digging a hole that's not going to be so fun to dig out of.
Yeah, because usually the person you worked with at the first, maybe to buy your first home or something, they may not be the person to handle your investments or your upsizing or your strategic selling in a changing market. Like sometimes you need a different level of expertise, and it's okay to look around a bit and say, they did an okay job. And where I'm heading now, they don't seem to have the expertise in it. The accountant may not have expertise in real estate accounting and what you can write off and what you can't, and
if you're investing,
what you should be writing off and how you should be depreciating it and how much you should depreciate it.
Or should you be?
Yeah. It reminds me of when my parents sold their business. And
which was a lodge.
Which was a lodge. It was a long time ago. And yet I learned a valuable lesson because my dad had an inexpensive bookkeeper.
And that's what he wanted.
And I don't know the educational level of that accountant, but when it came to sell, he did not get accounting advice with his real estate agent and with the lawyer. So when he sold, there was tens of thousands of dollars in extra taxes needed to be paid because of the way the sale was structured. How much went to goodwill? How much went to assets? How much depreciation had happened? All these different things affected the tax rates on what he paid on the sale price. And so by not spending back then maybe an extra $1,000 for the right tax accounting team, he lost tens of thousands of dollars.
Which today would be like in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. So the numbers, the zeros change, the strategy or the impact doesn't change, right? So if you're not getting proactive counsel or proactive options, be leery. If everything you say is, that sounds great, you're so smart, aren't you right on point? You may be. Most of the time, there are things that we who are not potentially every day in real estate or every day in mortgage brokering or every day in accounting or every day in contracting that we just can't know. And so you aren't meant to have all the answers. If it sounds like you have all the answers, I'd actually be a little concerned. When I feel like I have all the answers around my roofing or any aspect of a house, even though we know a lot and you've been a new home warranty builder and you're very handy and very involved, it's not your everyday trade.
No.
So if you're not being maybe challenged with some of your belief systems, there's probably a problem.
Yeah, they should be challenging you. They should be asking you questions. And, a while back, this is quite a while back now, as our friend would say, the other day, I asked our accountant at the time, whether making an adjustment in the way we did GST and doing 2 registrants instead of 1 registrant and doing the simple tax method and this kind of thing. And it would save, I figured, about $2,000 in taxes. And the accountant said, yeah, it would. And I thought, well, why didn't you tell me to
10
do
years
this?
ago.
Right? Yeah, because those errors accumulate. And so that person's no longer a tax accountant, right?
Right.
I want people who are strategic, people who are proactive.
Right. And if the conversations with your team around real estate or anything for that matter feel reactive, that's a clue. There should be proactivity, not reactivity. It doesn't mean they have to know everything. There are times where I want to go get information. A client asked about something to do with having run a small part-time business in her home. So I suggested check with the lawyer, check with an accountant, check with a tax specialist, because that's not my area of expertise. That's an accounting conversation.
Nor should you be in that lane
Nor should I be. So sometimes it's just a matter of knowing where to direct somebody and yet not knowing where to direct them and attempting to have all the answers. That's actually a bit of a clue too, that there's something going on.
Yeah, you said earlier that strong teams challenge your thinking and they don't just agree with you. They don't give you just what you want to hear. They actually guide you, let you make the decision, but give you the education so you can make a wise decision or live with your poor decision if you make a poor decision. It's your decision.
Right. We can't make it for you. And sometimes what that looks like is clear data and the interpretation of the data. Right. And sometimes the data on some properties are so unique that there's not a lot of relevant data. So you have to look at the bigger picture and make a decision and then respond rather than react to the market in a timely manner. It's not to dig in your heels and say, well, that's what we talked about, so this is where we're going to go. It's being able to be fluid. So you need a team that can move with the shifting sands of time or of the market.
It's so important because stagnant advice is a signal that it's stagnant, right? Like recently we helped a young couple sell their condo.
Right.
And we reanalyzed, because it had been about 3-4 weeks, we reanalyzed and we said, look, what's going on? What's just sold? We think $15,000 will make all the difference, right? So we adjusted by $15,000, and within a week, we got an offer. Within 2 weeks, sold firm.
Right.
They're tickled pink.
And even when we started, we kind of thought that was the right number. And sometimes you go, well, there's not enough evidence to be certain that we're incorrect with the right number. So let's, you've got a couple of extra weeks, let's see. And we had good activity, good response, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The best response we can get is an offer.
Yeah,
and that didn't show.
$15,000 on an over $400,000 property is nothing. And yet it shows you how sensitive the market is to the right impetus.
Right. So in the market, the results are not going to be determined by timing alone. It's going to be determined by who is in your corner, who is helping you interpret and access the information. Well, maybe you can access it, but who's going to help you interpret it?
Yeah. So we're glad that you joined us on Life's Inside Track, because when we move forward together, we've got this.
Moving forward with the Dekker team. Moving forward together with the Dekker team.